Okay, it's been a long time since I've done any reloading videos, and I'm not going to go through the whole steps of doing it, but I thought I would share this with most of you. I know some have asked when I was going to do some more reloading videos, and what I'm getting ready to reload is for our Howa Model 1500 308 Winchester rifles. Jared and I shooting some yesterday. Big Al was down. We let him shoot them, and we had a good day. We patterned some shotguns, different shot, and still Winchester brand, but it was number 6 shot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a few of the steps of what you got to do to reload, and so we'll get to it. I'm basically going to reload. The casings are PMC bronze ammo that we shot. So I've already done about 60 pieces of brass, 68 pieces of brass, and I got some more. We've got probably about 140, 160 cases that I need to resize. So without further ado, I'll show you one of the first steps I do after depriming. I've already deprimed them all. I've got a depriming tool. It's not a resizing tool, it's a depriming tool just to deprime the brass. That's already been done. So I'll take you through a few of the steps. Okay, please forgive me for all the clutter here. Still got a lot of other projects I'm working on, but this is the PMC bronze hunting ammo. It was 150 grain 308 Winchester. And like I said, I've already deprimed all the brass. And what I do is I take this brass out of this carrier. I'm going to lay it on the paper towel here. And I've got some lube that I spray on it. I'll show you that here in just a second. Okay, I've got the brass laid out here on some paper towels. And on the back of the box, I'll write what the date is, and these have been resized. That way I know what's being resized, what's not being resized. The lube I'm using is my own, what we call bootleg case lube. It's 2 ounces of lanolin and 16 ounces of 91% alcohol. I couldn't find 99 or whatever alcohol. And I've got it in a spray bottle. And what I do is I shake it up real good because that lanolin will settle to the bottom. And then I give it a spray, and then I kind of just roll them back and forth, and another spray. Just that one. And roll them back and forth and let them set, because the alcohol will evaporate off and leave the lanolin. So let this dry for a little bit and be right back. Okay, now I've got this bin that I put the brass in, and I'll take it over here to my reloading press. And you already see I've done some. Like I said, the primers have already been taken out. You can see through the priming hole there. So I'll start sizing these, and basically what you do, and again, forgive the clutter, put this in the shell holder. Now these are Lee 308 Winchester dies. This is your decapping, resizing, full length resizing die. This is a powder through die, and this is my Lee turn press. This is your bullet seating die, and I've already made a dummy round and checked in my rifle. This is a dummy round, and that is 2.812 size. Fits my rifle perfect, goes in. Now like I said, this is a dummy round. You can see that spot there. And it fits the magazine box perfect. goes in the chamber, and the factory specs are or the manual that's right here. The manual says 2.81 inches. So like I said, this is 2.812. So that will work. And basically put the brass in the shell holder and get this back around. Like I said, this is my turret press, but I got it set up to just single stage index. I took the rod out that goes in the middle. You take that up, bring it down, and then I'll wipe the lube off of it. Then I go to the next one, put it in the shell holder, take it up, and take it out. That's all there is to it. So I'll do all these cases, get them wiped off after I've sized them, and they'll go here, and then they'll go back into the shell holder and in the box. Like I said, I've already got 40 done right there, and then there'll be the next stages of running them through the tumbler, make sure I got all the lube off of them, get them as shiny as I can get them, and the next steps will be priming, charging, and seating a bullet. So stay tuned. Now, the one thing I wanted to mention, I will be using Nosler 150 grain ballistic tips, so I'm using the Nosler reloading manual. And you know, this page here, it's page 298 of this manual, talks about the 308 round, and then here's your specifics, the different types of bullets. And like I said, I'm going to be using the 150 grain, and I'll be using IMR 4064 powder. I wanted to share that so you know you need to use a manual when you're reloading this thing. And of course, you know, when you're looking at those specs there, I mean, here's your cartridge overall length, and then here's your case length, and this shoulder is what you got to worry about. You got to make sure that you seat or set this die down enough that it will put the shoulder back to where it will chamber in your rifle. You can check that once you've resized it. You can check it by putting it in the chamber and closing your bolt, and it's almost like a headspace gauge. If the bolt doesn't easily close, then that means that shoulder's not back far enough. So you've got to be careful when you're using bottleneck cases that you get that shoulder back enough that it will chamber into your rifle. And when I say chamber, I mean the bolt will close easily. Okay, here's a couple more tools. This is a trim gauge for 308, and this is a primer cleaning tool. That's for your large primer, that's for your small primer pockets. That's just to clean the carbon that's in the case, and I'll do one, show you what it looks like here in just a minute. And then this here, this is like a factory spec trim gauge. This is a Lee. If you can't tell, and if you haven't watched all my videos from 11 years ago, 12 years ago, I use Lee. I don't use Dillon RCBS. Now, I do have some RCBS stuff, but I started out with Lee, and they haven't failed me yet. I've got the Lee progressive press right there. I've got the Pro 1000 right there. This was the turret press. I have a single stage press, and I even also have a Lee load all for 12 gauge shotgun. So I use Lee. Don't look down on me for using Lee. Lee works fine for me. Hasn't failed me yet. And the rifle ammo I load works great. So I load for rifle and for handgun. But I'll clean one of these. I do have a Lyman case prep station that deburrs, chamfers, and does the primer pockets and everything. That's all electric. This here, of course, you have to do by hand. Hold your brass in one hand, this and the other, put it in the primer pocket, and turn it to clean all the carbon out. So be right back. Okay, I told you about having the Lyman prep station, but I also have a Lyman case preparation kit. And this is what it consists of. Here is your chamfering for your case mouth, for your inside and outside your case mouth. And there is the tools for primer pockets. There's also a swaging to help get rid of military crimp. There's some bronze brushes for cleaning the case inside, plus a handle. This is the one thing right here that I use so I can deburr the case mouth both on the outside and the inside. So, like I said, I've got the hand tools there for the case length and for the cleaning out the primer pockets. These do not have military crimp, so I can use that. But probably with the amount of brass that I will be doing, I will probably use the Lyman electric prep case, prep station, and I'll have it pulled out later to show you. I will do a couple of these by hand for the primer pocket so you can see how it's done. Okay, there's one of the primer pockets cleaned out using that tool right there. And you just, I don't know if I can do this holding the phone to show you, but you just stick this in, if I can get it. You just stick that in and you turn it back and forth, back and forth. Then always blow it out. And as you can see, it's cleaned out. But on that Lyman prep station, you just set it down in there and twist it back and forth while it's spinning. An electric motor causes it to spin and cleans it out. It's a lot quicker than doing it by hand. Okay, here's how you trim the case mouth. And you can see the gauge is sticking through right there. And like that, you just, if I can hold it, you do this with two hands, but you run this back and forth around the case mouth. Take it off, and you'll see how shiny. It makes it nice and square, so you don't have any spot that's a little taller than the whole mouth. But you can see how shiny there. It's probably just trimmed off not even 1,000. I mean, it's just very little. And then you take the Lyman deburr, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Okay, here's the deburr, and if I can hold the phone, I'll show you. This way, it deburrs the outside of the case mouth, and you just twist it. And then you put it in like this and turn it with your hand holding the shell casing, and deburrs the inside of the case mouth. Makes the bullet slide in a lot easier. But like I said, all these tools that I just showed you, other than the, I think that trim gauge for the length, you can put on the Lyman prep electric station and actually trim your brass too. I can't remember for sure. It's been a while since I've used it. When I'm only loading a few, I do everything by hand, but here I'm going to probably have 160 cases to do, and I'm going to have to pull it out and do it. And I did that off camera, but you can see right here on the case mouth how shiny on the outside. Kind of I don't know if you'd say beveled. And then on the inside, same way. Now it's beveled to the inside. Makes seating that bullet a lot easier. And when you're loading for hunting rounds, something you want to make sure is accurate, you want every case to be the same. So that's the reason why you take all that extra time to clean out the primer pocket. Make sure that flash hole isn't plugged, that it's opened. And make sure all cases are trimmed the same length, which is by the book 2.1 inches. And you deburr the outside, deburr the inside, and then you're ready to put a primer in, powder, and a bullet. Okay, folks, I have actually resized and I have trimmed 60 rounds of brass. I have another 60, sorry about my hands in the way, I have another 60 right there that has been resized but needs to be trimmed and cleaned. And I'm using a Smart Reloader tumbler, SR 737, and I believe it has walnut media in it. Okay, so I'm gonna add these to the tumbler. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got 40 in there right now. I think it's about all this tumbler will hold. I got a bigger tumbler, but it's up on the shelf behind some other stuff, and I really have to dig to get it out. So I'm just going to use this one. I mean, this brass already looks like it's been tumbled, but it has not. That's just new brass. And then also, you know, it's all PMC. And then I have a box of Hornady brass that I've resized, trimmed, and it looks just like this that I'm going to put in here. But once it's in there, now the walnut media's got some red Jeweler's Rouge and I think a few drops of alcohol to cut down on the dust. And you just put this in here, make sure it's all sealed up. Tighten this down, make sure it's all sealed up. Tighten this down, and then just turn it on, and it's going to make a racket. And then let it run for several hours, and it should be nice clean brass. Then I'll get it out, sift it, and make sure there's no walnut media. Plug in a flash hole for the primer, and it'll be ready to prime, powder, and seat a bullet. Well, I thought it'd be louder than that, but you just let that run for a few hours. So this will probably be the end of this first part of the video. I don't want to make it real long, so there's going to be several parts. If you've seen the stages you have to go through, of course I didn't show you the stage of depriming, but now I'm tumbling the brass to get it as clean as I can possibly get it, inside and out. It's trimmed, it's been resized. Like I said, after this process, get them out, dust them off, it'll be ready to load. Appreciate you watching J&J True Outdoor Adventures. Please like, comment, subscribe. And as we're fond of saying, we'll see you in the woods. Thanks for watching.